Wander lieb ich für mein Leben, lebe eben wie ich kann. Wollt ich mir doch Mühe geben, passt es mir doch gar nicht an.
Dear Diary, it is not easy living the life of Anastasia, and at times when the fire in my brain burns through me, I would find myself dragging my deformed body through the forest at a speed about as fast as a cripple can run. To forget my pain, I would gaze at the stars. One particular star caught my attention. "How nice you must feel to be so high up in the air," I said to it. "How good you must feel to be so shiny and beautiful. Surely, you must have some kind of power. Grant me a wish, your twinkled star. Make the burning stop." The star refused to speak with me, but I was not the least bit surprised. You see, my darling diary, great forces never worked on my side, and that is the fate that I, Anastasia, have learned to accept. As I painfully dragged myself into the denser part of the forest, I noticed a most unusual creature flying through the trees, and if I could pick a word to describe this strange specimen, I would call it the Birdman. You see, this animal had the face of a bird, but a body of a human. And it wasn't just its shape that struck me as interesting, but the lightning speed at which it would fly through the forest. Perhaps speed can heal the fire in my brain. Soon, observing this animal became a very important part of my routine. Every swoop it made, every takeoff it made, every left turn, every right turn was recorded in great detail and etched in my brain. But soon, just observing was not good enough. I wanted more. And perhaps wanting more is what always leads to my downfall. But I couldn't care less, for I knew my future was already doomed. What I do in the present moment is more important to me, because tomorrow may never come. One day, as the Birdman flew past me, I threw a stone at its head and knocked it to the floor. The severe blow that I, Anastasia, oh so proudly administered, had caused an immense amount of blood to gush from its neck. Oh dear, I hope I haven't killed it. As I stared at its motionless body, I couldn't help but notice how beautiful its feathers looked, how powerful its wings were, and most of all, how adorable its beak was shaped. The creature regained consciousness and slowly opened its eyes. "You had a little accident. You crashed into a tree," I lied. "I hope you are okay." "Of course I am well," the Birdman proudly replied. "Nothing ever puts a stop in my flight, not even the most brutal of all wounds. If anything, a raw wound makes me go faster." Apparently the blood oozing from the back of the head did not seem to bother it the slightest bit. "It must be nice to have speed on your side," I remarked. "Hop on," piped the animal. "I'll show you what speed is." And so I held on to its magnificent wings and soared through the forest at lightning speed. As I ascended higher and higher into the trees, I noticed a most remarkable thing. The fire in my brain was no longer there. I felt happy, at peace, alive with energy, and filled with hope. These unusual emotions are something I rarely experience, and surely if there was a book written about Anastasia, this experience itself would constitute a most marvelous chapter. Perhaps the star did grant my wish after all. And so every day under the hot sun, I would hitch a ride with this mighty fine creature. What a sight that must have been. An ugly wretch sitting atop a beautiful bird. Soon, days became weeks, weeks became months, and winter came along. The creature was noticeably absent. It was almost as if it had disappeared forever. Could it have been a ghost? The fire in my brain promptly returned. Feeling completely helpless and unable to stop the agonizing pain in my head, I started cursing the stars above me. Twinkle, twinkle, ugly star, how disgusting you really are. How I wish you granted my wish. You see, the burning is still there. Yes, the burning is still there. And so I screamed this over and over again for many hours until my crippled body gave out and I collapsed in a muddy ditch in the forest. As I slowly regained consciousness, I felt some feathers brush past me, and out of the corner of my eye, I could see the birdman flying again. But how could that be? I knew it was gone forever. After all, it was winter, and we all know birds fly south to escape the cold. Maybe I was just seeing a ghost. The forest has got all sorts of oddities within it, and a lingering ghost is always a remote possibility. The birdman once again appeared, but this time I could see myself riding with it. How can that be? For my crippled body was still lying helplessly in the muddy ditch. I looked up into the sky and noticed that twinkling star was shining twice as bright. It then dawned on me that I was simply reliving a moment. I was experiencing a memory of movement stuck in a portion of time. And while I wished it could be the real thing, I realized that this was the next best thing. After all, if reliving a simple moment can ease the fire in my brain, then perhaps a moment is all I need. Anastasia.
Draußen in die Weiten reis ich, weiß nicht, wo ich abends ruh. Manche Schöne macht wohl Augen meinet, ich gefiel ihr sehr, wenn ich nur was wollte taugen, so ein armer Lump nicht mehr.